Hello everybody, my name is Reese. I am a retro game fan. I stream retro games. I blog about retro games on a blog that I have just been spending about a year redesigning because I've been fitting it around everything else. And a part of the blog I'm doing is also video content. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But I feel that this is going to be the first video of hopefully many. Who knows? But I wanted to kind of document a voyage of discovery I have been on over the last week and a half with one game in particular for one of the systems that I do collect for, which is the Commodore 64. One publisher I tend to gravitate to with my collection is Codemasters. I have a lot of nostalgia for Codemasters because when I was starting my gaming collection, they were very, very cheap to get hold of, a few quid, and also the cover art as well appealed to me, who was like no more than 10 years old at the time. So the budget helped me, and it helped to build my collection. Now, not content with just releasing one game on a tape, they started the Quattro series, which put 4 games that they previously released onto one tape. Sometimes they had slight rebranding within the game. Other times they just renamed the game in particular. But it didn't really matter because it was like 50p a game. 4 games are all well and good. What happens if you wanted more? Well, this is one thing that I had as a child growing up. I had a memory that one of the Quattro games had 2 hidden games. And I'm going to find out if this is true. First, I had to remember what Quattro compilation I remember playing. I do remember one such game on the series being a tennis game. I also remember there was also a rugby game on there. And after having a little bit of a dig around the Centre of Computing History, I found the game that I think was the one. Quattro Skills. So how do you access these 2 other games? Well, sometime in the early 90s when I first booted up the tennis game, which I found to be Pro Tennis Simulator, I'd have been no more than 10 years old and dipping my first toes into the world of retro gaming, or as it's known now, gaming, and aware of things such as copy protection, the flicking through a manual to enter a word, or to spin a disc to line up characters. Oh no, these were too hard for my child brain. And Codemasters knew this, because if you fail copy protection, instead of taking you back to the main screen, it will throw up another game instead. Or did it? There's only one way to find out. So the first approach was to look online. We know the names of the games, so let's just go to certain websites and get a legally questionable copy. However, this led to the first problem, because these games have copy protection in it. We needed the copy protection still in, and a lot of these games had been cracked, so that wasn't useful. I needed a new approach, so I turned to eBay instead. And sure enough, after beginning the search, I found an auction that was selling Quattro Skills. A quick transaction meant I had a copy of the game a few days later. Also helped that one of the auction pictures had a copy of the inlay, which proved that it had copy protection. And here it is. Now to get it on the PC. And that was something I needed a bit more help with. Thankfully, the process is very, very simple. And after a bit of digging, you find the answer. You just need a box standard Walkman, a 3.5mm jack attached to your lining in your PC, and a couple of batteries to power it. So you can see me going through the process here. What you do is you record it as a WAV file into a program like Audacity, which is a program that I have got running here, going through the process, and you convert it into a WAV file. You then upload, you convert the WAV file using a piece of software, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, and you're ready to go. Now, if you are familiar with these tapes, first of all, you've got to make sure you get it in the right way, which I didn't do here. And instead, you have to just run through the tape. Now, this tape took about 15 minutes to go through. It always felt a lot longer as a child, but there we go. So there we go. It is converting. It is sending data to my PC, and we are ready to go. Let's see the results. So here you go, you can see the results here. So when you record, you get something that looks like this. I'm not going to play it because it sounds terrible, but basically the way in which I assume it works is that you have one game and then a second game with like about a small, I believe that's about a 10-second gap in between them. In fact, that's what the game does actually say within the inlay. Obviously, you just need to split these up. So if you select just one of these and then just copy it, doesn't have to be exact. We open a new file and we paste this in. We go to the full screen, I believe. There you go. There is the audio track 1. We go to file, then export. We export it as a wave. We're going to do Quattro game 1. We want to export this as a wave purely because we don't want this to have any sort of compression on it. You click save, you click OK, and it then exports. And now onto the final step, and this uses a piece of software. So you then need a little program called AudioTap. I did a bit of Googling, and you come to this website, which looks fantastic. I'll put the link to it in the show notes. And what this does is allow you to create a .tap file, which is what a lot of emulators use, from a wave, an audio wave file. So basically, you go to download AudioTap, you get taken to a link, you pick the version, which I have done here. So I'm just going to drag this in. And it's a little small program, it's about this big. You click on create a tap file, click on from an audio file. Don't need to worry about anything else. We will go to this one. We'll call it Quattro Game 1. And we will call it Quattro Game 1. And we have converted it into a tape file. So now we can go back to the emulator and load it up. So here's our emulator back again. I don't know if this actually works on other systems, but yeah, this may work on other systems or any other drives. I don't know. But I'm just going to load this up. I'm recording this on Windows, so the cursor isn't flashing. So I've got a copy of the .tap file we created in the previous step. And I don't actually know what game this is, but we'll give it a try. So, gone ahead. And it should load now. I don't know. It's definitely found something. It definitely recognizes this file does exist. Whether it picks it up, I don't know. Found skateboard. So it's the Pro Skateboarder game. So it's found something. Doesn't seem to be any sort of memory error. It will click onto the next screen. And hopefully it will begin loading. So if you're not familiar with the Commodore 64, a load of lines appear on the screen if something appears loading. And there we go. So yeah, this is the loading screen for Pro Skateboarder. I believe there is also an image that appears. So I may skip forward a little bit because this is going to be about 6 or 7 minutes long. So yeah, we'll skip forward and I'll show you the loader. So as you can see, it's begun loading. We're about like 30-40 seconds in from the break. So yeah, it's Pro Skateboard Simulator. So it is finding things. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that it will load. However, we can once again skip forward a little bit longer. It's going to be about 5 or 6 minutes for it to load into the computer. So we'll see you shortly. I'm just going to do a little bit of a jump cut. So as you can see here, the game is loaded and we have the copy protection. Now, I haven't actually got the game with me, so I'm just going to press what I think is may not be a number. So I'm going to press letter V, see if that works. Hopefully we get the secret little game. And hopefully A6 is not V. No. So we skip through that one. Tried that. And we get it! This is the secret game. I do remember it. This is one of the secret games. Mr. Nafo's Super Game, Sleepwalker. I should point out this is not like the Ocean game from 1991. This is very, very much similar to Manhole. That was made by in the Game & Watch. So let's get cracking. I'll just take you through a quick game. I haven't got anything in terms of joystick, so we'll just use the keys. And I believe all you do is you have to guide these people from one end of the screen to the other. And you can see here that it gets pretty tough pretty quick. I should point out I've not played this yet. And there we go. So it's a very, very simple Manhole cover. Let's just try difficult just for things. Oh, we get different clouds. It's actually quite, you know, it's not necessarily the best game in the world, but it does, you know, this is just a free game they gave away as a thank you to, you know, if you failed copy protection. So that is Mr. Nafo's Sleepwalker. Not the best game in the world by any stretch of the imagination. However, it's nice to know that I didn't misremember a Quattro game having 2 extra games, and one of them was this Mr. Nafo's Sleepwalker. Also, maybe better than Pro Skateboard Simulator. Certainly more playable. So that was Mr. Snuff's Sleepwalker. What of the other game? Well, unfortunately, Pro Tennis didn't seem to work. I just couldn't rip it like I could the other game. So, unfortunately, as far as I'm concerned, it's lost into the bits of time, which is a shame. As far as I'm aware, it was a Pong clone. So yeah, if you have this, do let me know, and if you want to go through this, and hopefully somebody does find it. I haven't worked out what I'm going to do with the game that was on the side of the pro skateboarding simulator. As far as I'm concerned, you know, it's there, and as far as I'm aware, the only known version of the game exists on the computer that is to my right, which is a weird sense of nostalgia. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you have found it interesting. Do please drop anything in the comments or anything if you've got any questions or anything. Like and subscribe. Is that what the kids say? Yeah, do that. And yeah, let me know how this is. So do take care. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.